Are you familiar with like AC/DC, the band?
Yep.
Say if I'm like an upcoming guitarist,
Yeah.
would I rather go and play at a local band and be the best guitarist there? Or would I rather potentially not play that much my guitar, but learn from the people at AC/DC? Think about this team, right? Jonathan Williams, NBA.
Yeah.
Jason Randall, NBA, EuroLeague. Cam Augusti was one of the best players in college. Gerard Reynolds, one of the best players in EuroCup, Champions League. Dean, Champions League, one of the best players from Britain. Or would I rather go play, somewhere else
smaller,
and be a big fish in a small pond?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the London Lions podcast Baseline. I am here with Lenz Balan. This is Brian Bosche. Lenz, what's up? Welcome back to the pod.
What's going on? We really got to have a conversation with Zeke.
Hey, as I always say, the best ability is availability, and we're always available. So you're back. I love it. And you'll give a good perspective because we got NBA Europe, NBA London games that we want to talk about. So you've got the front office behind the scenes, look at kind of more of what's going on with European basketball in general. We're also going to go around recap of games. Got a little bit of a gut punch this week. Lenz and I are still recovering. A little bit of a downer pod today, but we'll try to hype everyone back up. We're going to talk about what's next for the London Lions, give out some awards, and then answer some fun mailbag questions. I would say this pod set the record for most questions that we are not allowed to answer on the podcast. So it's great questions, everyone. I don't know when people are coming back from injury. I don't know who we're going to sign next. We're not Martinez, but we'll give you the best answers we possibly can.
I think we will. I think we also need a Martinez pod for sure. And then just to watch Martinez not answer some of the questions that we answer.
I would like to ask Martinez questions that he doesn't answer. But one of the questions was like, what next NBA guy can we sign? And I'm like, I'm pitching Martinez all the time. So I have the same questions, but I can't answer them. So let's get started. We're going to go into this week's EuroCup game against Rotio Farm Ulm. We lost 73-72 in the last 0.2 seconds. Heartbreaking game. One of the most fun games of the season from an energy perspective, crowd perspective, back and forth with Ulm. Really fun game. And I would say we had so many injuries. I think Cam was out, Joel was out, J3 was out, Ethan was out, Mo was out. Ovi's out, so it's just like a potential starting five is injured and out, and the next man up type of mentality. Our guys came in and put on an incredible effort. They were fighting. You could tell there was no giving up. There was no, we're so injured. They fought that team to the final 0.2 seconds. I was really impressed with what they were able to put together. But again, heartbreaking loss. We are now eliminated from EuroCup playoffs. Lenz, I want to start with the game, and then we can kind of go into the longer-term implications of this, or just putting this in context, because it's been an incredible season based on where we were a year ago. But what was your biggest takeaway from this game?
Man, I don't think you can watch this game and then look to the right and look at how short that bench was and look at how many of our very important, crucial players were sitting on the bench. So I don't think you could watch the game and realize that we had absolutely no size.
No center.
No big.
Dean was stepping up. Everyone was just kind of hacking together a center, multiple people.
Yeah. We had the number of times where it was really about, and I think actually the team did a pretty good job running their bigs at every opportunity because, that's something Sabonis instills on the team, but it's also we just had to. And that's where we really, really struggled, was not having that big in the game. Never mind all the other injuries we've had. So this has been a season that has been really unbelievable. I've never experienced anything like this.
No.
I've never seen anything like it, the number of injuries. And these are just freak injuries,
broken hand, twisted ankle on landing.
It's just really, really difficult. It's been really difficult from an injury perspective. So, I will. So that's sort of one thing. I think the next bit is, and I try to. I'm an optimist. I'm probably an irrational optimist by nature. When I think about the positives about this, is one is um, what I took away from it is, man, we have a really good group of guys who care. They give a shit.
Yeah.
Every single guy, short and bench, not everybody, they went out there and fought against Ulm and scratched for every point, every bucket, like you said. Tarik Phillip put that Superman cape on and
Yes,
like
yes, he
really
did.
carried the team because when we really needed him, Dean Williams was amazing. You know, the minutes that we got from Ryan and Lucas Shunis were always, they've been so huge for us, stepping up all season. So I think that group of guys, how much they care. Even the guys who were injured, you could tell that they were, you know, look, and the folks don't know Joe Scott wants to fucking be out there. Like these guys want to
Yeah.
be out there and compete and play, and they work so hard. Like I don't think people really understand the level of effort and commitment and professionalism that there is within that coaching staff and that team. It's just a lot of bad luck, and you know, people at the end of the game in tears, really upset. Um, and so I think to anytime you get a group of people to buy into what the Lions are and what they're trying to do is really incredible. So I look at it from that perspective. Like Martinez and Sabonis have done an amazing job of creating an amazing group of men. Um, uh, the second bit is, you know, this is really about a broader journey. If you look at it, the London Lions were in administrative 18 months ago, and we're back in EuroCup and competing at a high level, despite all of the difficult sort of obstacles that the Lions and every club in the SLB had to overcome. Getting
Yeah.
recruits, getting recognition from the federation. It really, don't think you can underestimate how much operational and financial, budgetary sort of, I guess, limitations that you have when you're dealing with that degree of uncertainty in such a short time. So I think the really positive takeaway is we've got a great group of guys. I think we have the talent to do quite well during the season. And the rest of this season is about really creating that continuity and continuing to build the identity of the Lions. So, you know, one of the things I learned from the last EuroCup run was, you know, our ability to be successful is we had a core group of guys
Yep.
throughout the rest of that season that went out, fought hard, won the domestic competition, both championship and the playoff competition, in order to get us in a position to get to that semifinal against Paris in the EuroCup the next season. So from now on, this is a massive opportunity for us. It's who
Yeah.
are the guys that are going to be a part of like what we're going to build going forward. I know Martinez and Sabonis from the coaching staff are really focused on building that continuity, because that continuity is really, really important when you're playing at that top level in Europe. And who are the guys that are going to step up? Who are the guys that are going to care? Who are the guys that are going to take? We're going to take it up a next next level. So I'm really excited to see that. And so all in all, I think if you step back from how sad it was to get eliminated from the playoffs, man, we still have a game against Athens, and they're going to go out and fight. We have a game against Borg. They're going to go out and fight. We have a game against
The Cobblers.
the
Yep.
Cobblers. They're going to go out and fight. And we have these SLB EuroCup games. And again, every single year, the SLB gets better and better and better and better.
Yep.
And so this is an opportunity for us to use the rest of the season as a catalyst for next season. So that's kind of the really, to me, that's kind of how I looked at it. To see how
Yeah.
much guys cared at the end of the game in the locker room, that made me feel like, shit, the Lions are back.
I think because this team is so new coach, very new roster, we've still never seen, you know, all these new signings play together. You know, Ryan was out, Shavar was out. Once they come back, the new crop get injured. So it hasn't felt like we've had a Lions team that we have prepped for. And, you know, I've talked to you and Martinez about this. The amount of work that the entire front office, the team puts into building that roster, developing that roster, making sure we can even play a season, you know, and like get on the court. and then just the injuries. It's the worst thing in sports. You have no control over it. It's these freak accidents. It's a back issue. It's a hand issue. It's a contusion where you just get hit. Shavar gets hit with a knee or a foot in the first game of the. It's just so frustrating, especially as on the fan side as well, where there's so much work that goes into it, and we just don't get to see it yet. But you're building the culture. It's the first year for a lot of these guys. Like you said, how do you kind of build that when we had Jordan Taylor and we had Sam Decker and we had Josh Sharma and you build that core group, you build that culture, you have them kind of build that team together. I'm hoping we can put into next season and that we can take some positives. You're right, make this SLB run for the rest of the season. But yeah, it's a gut punch, especially when you see the fans. Especially when you see the fans' response, like you're really seeing the culture. But we'll get into that more in awards. But a little bit of a gut punch. I'm still, I'm in the hangover. This is brutal.
It's tough to lose when you put so much effort and how much effort the players and the coaching staff and the front office, how much time and effort, how much people care, how much people bought into this sort of Lions vision. But again, we're 18 months out of administration. Us and the rest of the SLB, the SLB clubs did an unbelievable job getting outside, getting the season up and running. And, we've got big EuroCup games, we've got an SLB season. This is how you build a program. This is how you build a program that can win. This is a part of the journey. And, lots of lessons to learn, lots of things to improve. But man, I think everybody should be really, I'm proud of the Lions. I'm excited what we're going to do this season. We've got a lot of work to do, a lot of wood to chop.
Yeah. And the problem is, Lenz, we got a little taste. We beat I saw us beat Besiktas in one of the best games I've ever seen the Lions play. So I got a little taste of it, and that made me want it. I was like, oh, let's get that home playoff game. Let's make that playoff run. But it's building. You got to think about it long term. You got to think about it long term. Exactly. We are building this program back up.
We beat Besiktas without the team that we envisioned.
Seriously.
And so it really does show the job that everybody's done. So it's just about putting it together and moving forward.
Yeah. Well, earlier this week too, if we want to shift back to SLB a little bit, went on the road with a ton of injuries again. Beat the Sheffield Sharks 92-83. Really impressive win for the guys on the road. So the Lions moved to 13-2 in SLB. We stay top of the table. We came back after that first half. So Sheffield had a really strong first half. Would have been easy for, I think even, some of our mega fans, our super fans on Twitter were saying like, this would be a tough one for the Lions to win. It's the injuries. They're going on the road. It's been a kind of a brutal EuroCup schedule here, and a ton of grit to pull this one out, flipping in the third quarter, going on a big run. Dean Williams, again, had 19. Tarik had 17. Chaundee Brown Jr. came off the bench with 16. So really impressive win there to kind of stay top of the table, kind of establish that dominance from, not the top star players typically because there's a lot of injuries. And so I want to kind of set set some context here, Lenz, where there is a lot of questions around kind of the import rule, how things work in the SLB. Because people usually will say for the Lions, this has been true for the last 5 years since I've lived here. Oh, they've got the EuroCup squad. They're just going to come in and beat all. That is not true. They're not going to come in and beat every SLB team. And there are rules for that. And also the SLB teams have really good, they're playing in Europe. They have really good clubs and players as well. So can you just succinctly, I know you love a long-winded answer, Lenz, but succinctly for the import, what is the rule and what players can we actually put on the court?
So we have a 2 import penalty for any given SLB game based on going above a certain salary cap threshold. So there are 3 salary thresholds, and we are above that 3rd threshold, which means we can only play 4 of our 6 imports. So that presents a lot of challenges, both in terms of our ability to compete in European competition, and to make it quite difficult. But the objective of that rule, it has been really to try to create more parity within the league. And so, but that is a significant sort of change in what your roster construction is. And so
And it's
That's a
not very
rule.
typical for European competitions, right? We have one of the more strict import rules
I think a
across Europe.
two import rule is a very, very, very stringent rule, given just the number of players and the impact that any one basketball player can make on a team. Um, and so I think that's there's that. But then there's also, I don't think people are paying attention to how much better every year the SLB competition is. I mean,
Yeah.
the Sheffield Sharks, they have guys who can get after it. They have
Yeah.
guys who can flat out
Seriously.
score. Like, hey, there are scorers at every single position at every single level. There's almost an embarrassment of riches in terms of offensive firepower. And
They
you
got
see
one of
that in
my
a lot of
favorite X-Lions, Dirk Williams.
Dirk Williams, man. Dirk Williams can heat up at any time,
Yeah.
and kill you from three. And so that competition is higher. I had this as like in my head as maybe a scheduled loss. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I might get yelled at for saying that, but because
Martinez
I
is
do
on the
think
spot. Hopefully he doesn't listen back. Sorry, Martinez.
no, because this is a very talented Sheffield team. We had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
You said the EuroCup games and all of that stuff. So shout out to the players for really showing a lot of grit. And I think Chaundee Brown Jr., as you said, was a big key there, new acquisition,
Yeah.
a big key there in terms of helping us to get that win. So yeah, it was a good win.
But good to see, like, Amin had, 18, 19 minutes. Aaron had 30 minutes. Dean with 25. Tarik had 23. Matt got on the floor for over 10 minutes. Little Matt Goodwin
There you
game,
go.
which we love to see. So, yeah, I think
I
that's...
guess that's the other silver lining is some of the young sort of British guys with the I think some people would say that the silver lining would be that we've gotten a chance to discover and develop the British guys on our team. So we've done a lot of minutes in SLB.
Yeah, Matt Goodwin did miss a shot. Super Matt Goodwin.
Yeah, super Matt. Yeah.
Super Matt. So I want to move into awards now, because I think this actually frames these games, over the last week pretty well. So the awards I'm going to give: Mr. Consistency, Momentum Changer, again, Vibes Award as always, and then our Lion of the Week. So Lenz, I'm going to give you the first one. Let's go with Mr. Consistency. New award this week.
New award this week. I'm going to go with Shavar. Shavar's been pretty consistent in terms of sort of effort, positive attitude, and just in terms of that he's going to get out there in the next stretch of game plans. I'm going to give Shavar.
Yeah, Shavar's just the point guard rock. The pillar for the team. I love that. For me, I'm giving it to Dean Williams. I think it's because he can guard so many positions. He's such that one of the best defenders, in Super League basketball, certainly. And one of the best defenders I've seen this season. Every game he's out there. He's putting in big minutes. He's so consistent in filling up the box score. So Dean Williams, and just as a photographer, he just goes for posters, Lens. Like, he is intentionally trying to make my job easier. I'll never forget him going for the free throw dunk on a fast break. Like, give me a break, man. And drew the foul. But, thank you, Dean, for consistently pushing for that. So, yeah, Mr. Consistency, it just feels like Dean's always there. And in a year that's full of these injuries, that's so important to have someone like that on the floor. So, yeah, I'll give it to Dean.
I love how you love to mention the free throw dunk. I think I tried the free throw dunk, which is ridiculous. I think I have that
That's
kind of
just your jump
confidence
shot,
with
Lens. That's a jump shot. That's not a dunk attempt. That's just you actually doing a jump shot.
My floater.
Your floater. Momentum changer. I'll go first on this one. So, momentum changer award for someone who comes in. It's kind of like the spark, but really flips things. I'm going to give it to Chaundee Brown Jr. Momentum changer for the season. Momentum changer for the Sharks game. It's good to see him come out, and that's kind of what you want from these mid-season signings, or right before the deadline signings. Is, can you get someone in that can kind of fill a gap from an injury or from a hole that's maybe in the roster? So having losing Ryan, who's a scorer, very score first mentality. Chaundee Brown coming in, I think, with 16 points against the Sharks. It's really fun to see him go out there and play. So Chaundee Brown Jr. is my momentum changer award.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to come up with different groups of
you
people,
can
but
agree with me.
I totally agree with Chaundee. I think he, he kind of reminds me. He's a different player than Dean, obviously, but he kind of reminds me in terms of his defensive versatility. He can guard bigger, stronger athletes, and obviously is quick enough to guard on the perimeter. Was really, I think, did an exceptional job defensively game against Ulm. And I think he's come
11 points too.
Huge. Yeah, 7 points, and he just brings that physical presence. Really, really. I think Matt Goodwin, when he first saw him, was like, I can't believe how strong this guy is.
Yeah,
and
seriously.
so he really has been a successful signing by the team.
Yeah, I think he was +7 in the Ulm game, 11 points. So
Good,
yeah, little momentum changer. 6. Oh my God.
6
you got me there. You actually did get me there for a second. We're not allowed to say that. My next award. Let's go Lion of the Week. Do you want to go Lion of the Week or do you want to go Vibes? Which one do you want to do first?
Let's do Lion of the Week.
Lion of the Week. Hey, we want to spread the love around, you know? We really do. But some people just take these awards, Lenz, and we'd have no control over it. Lenz
Did you see what I was trying to mimic?
Lenz is acting something out on video without saying anything, which is great podcast material. Lenz, who is your Lion of the Week?
Brooklyn's own Rex, Tarik Phillip.
T-Rex.
He put that Superman cape on in that game. That step back three that gave us the lead was just unbelievable. That dunk, I was watching it. I just wasn't expecting him to get. He just got higher. It's almost like he was climbing the ladder. It was just, man, I don't know. You got to love Rex. Yeah, he cares, plays hard every single game, plays hard. He really is the heart of everything. He's Lion of the Week.
If you guys didn't catch the EuroCup game, if our listeners didn't catch the EuroCup game, it was pretty tight, and there's a lot of tension in that arena. Really good crowd that we had in. And I don't know if you saw the change, Lenz, but, we've talked on this podcast about how can we kind of activate our own fan base to do the cheers, to do the chants, to stand up, to really kind of drive the energy. Because we'll have, great fans from other clubs come in, because London's such a diverse city. So we'll have Greek fans, Turkish fans, all Londoners, but they're coming to games to watch the Besiktas, watch the Kenianios. Our fans in this game had so much energy. It feels like we're turning a little bit of corner. And Tarik, I don't know if he fueled them or whatever it was, back and forth, a little symbiotic relationship. But there was so much energy for him with the dunk, hitting the step back. And it was just, I was like, this is what I want to see from a Lions game.
And it is amazing. Like Tarik, I don't know, like he really does embody, I think, the energy of the fans when he's playing well. The proper box is just crazy because of his relentless defensive effort, and sometimes just the most shocking plays that you're just not expecting him to make. And I think
I expect it now.
Fans really, no, that's right.
I expect if we're down, like I think it was in maybe the Turk Telecom game or Besiktas game where we were down big, and he still just had a huge poster dunk. Like he does not care. He is going to keep that fire. And I think we were down by 2 in that last minute. Down by 1. I think we were down by 1. And I'm like, all right, let's see if he gets to the lane. Nope. Little sidestep, sidestep 3-pointer, hits it, goes crazy, crowd goes crazy. Over and over again, he's doing this. So yeah, he's my Lion of the Week.
Really, really impressive.
So
have you seen my sidestep 3-pointer? It's not bad.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. That's still just the jump shot. You're not moving sideways. You're still just going maybe 1 inch over. We still have yet to play the staff game. I blame the coaching staff. We'll get there eventually. Last, Vibes of the Week award. Who do you want to give it to, Lenz? We're if you're on YouTube, we're sporting our scarves.
We're wearing the Lions. So the Lions supporters group, they've been absolutely incredible. They come to every game. They bring so much energy, so much passion. They come to our away games. They defend us on Twitter when we get unfairly criticized. Shout out to all fans, critical or non-critical. We just need people to care about the product that we're all putting together. So appreciative of all the fans, but the most appreciative Lions supporters group. Thank you guys.
Lions roar.
Love you guys.
Lions Roar. I love the scarves. They kind of brought Lions Roar specific scarves out. They were everywhere in that lower bowl section, which was really fun to see, to kind of bring the energy. Lions Roar, Vibes of the Week award. Great work.
Well, and they are basically a part of the team in a way. Like, you see them on road games. They really are. They really have been amazing. And for that to happen organically like that group, like, I don't know. It is one of those things where you just feel really touched as trying to build it, to have people like that.
Yeah.
What they do is a catalyst. We have so many new fans coming, so you're doing such an amazing job. I think our content, our improved game day, brings in so many new fans who have never watched basketball before. And without these guys, I don't think you get that intensity in that crowd. So it's them screaming at every single game. You can hear them through the television if you're watching on the screen. That really activates the rest of the newcomers and creates a fan base. So shout out to these guys.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good point, where both of us had friends from the States come in for the NBA London game. So we had a lot of people. It was their first Lions game ever. First time for a lot of them seeing a European basketball game, or at least seeing one in London. And I think some of my friends that went to the game, especially after, Magic Grizzlies was a blowout almost immediately. So it wasn't like the most high stakes game for an NBA game. And this one, where it comes down to the final 0.2 second, it's back and forth, trading baskets. There's like playoff spots on the line. They were wowed, like, especially with the fans cheering. Like, they got into it. They're standing up, they're cheering. Like, you can get into it, and it does show you how special European basketball is, and how you can get. You had some friends over, right? That were checking out the game.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, who came to the NBA game, came to this, and they all said, "Man, the feedback that I got is that it really does feel like it's a community. I mean, everybody in that venue, you kind of feel like you know them. It's just it is such a family-oriented kind of space. Even though it's a sizable arena that we play out of, it's about 5,000 seats, but it is in a lot of ways very intimate. And I think that adds to both the fan experience during the game. And that was the feedback that I got, was like, having never seen a basketball game in the UK, being completely surprised at the level playing in the EuroCup competition, and then just seeing the sort of community that is slowly building in London, whether it's the kids at NCC or the people at the supporters fans, or the new groups of people, or the cheerleaders, the band, the mascot. It's like all the stuff is starting to actually build that community and that fan base. And it really is I think it's an amazing evening night out. And so, I got really, really positive reviews from folks. People really surprised by the quality of basketball, really surprised by the quality of the product. And this is, we didn't get my jumbotron and my lighting rig for the game. I almost lost my mind.
Yeah, no, well, it'll be back. It'll be back.
But it'll be back. It'll be back for the next game. But the fans, I think in general, people are just really, really impressed by the work we do. We have a long way to go, but it was nice to kind of get that third party feedback, because all you and I do, and Martinez, Sabonis, is think about all the things that go wrong and all the things that are going wrong, and how we can get better and working really hard. It's really nice to hear that we're working towards something special.
Yeah, that was a fun game to showcase, even if the last tip-in was a little bit of a heartbreaker. But you gave a nice preview of kind of what's next. We have the last home EuroCup game of the season, Wednesday, February 11th, against Kaibalis. It's the Lithuanian team coming in. We both were at the away game in Lithuania. This is a really fun Kaibalis team. And this is going to be a good kind of capstone, a last game for everyone. So get their last chance to see EuroCup this season at home. So get out there. So ticket sales are looking really good, Len. So we can expect a pretty full house there to support the team. But I think that'll be a really nice last game, especially coming back from we have Athens, then we have Borg. So we have two fun ones before that on the road. But there's only one thing left to do, Lens, and that's to win the rest of the SLB competitions. The Met have never done it. The Met have not won the quad, the trophy, cup, championship, and playoff. As a fan, you can't commit to this. You and Martinez will get mad. That's what I want. From a fan perspective, I want the quad. The quadruple?
I want to win every single game. Doesn't matter which game it is.
So you're going, I want to be undefeated the rest of the
Want to
season.
be
All right.
undefeated.
Good. I'm glad you
But
went up to me.
yeah. No, I mean, look, of course, we want to win every single game. But I think, um, I think again, this is about building. The job's not done. So we've got really important games to get to. These are really, really important competitions for our club, for defining our identity, for putting our stamp on the season. And I think we've got the kind of people on that staff that really want to go out and earn it and win it. The SLB Cup and the trophy
Yeah, we
final.
got the Cup.
Those are such exciting things.
Newcastle Eagles, kind of that first round quarterfinals of the Cup.
Yeah.
We have trophy final against the Eagles. It's all coming up Eagles for us. And then we've got end of kind of the championship, the regular season run, and then playoffs, which is always very fun. So that's what's coming up next. And yeah, let's get the quad. I love to see it. I want to pivot now. We had the NBA London game. Last time we had, I think, was 2019 in London. I did not even live here for this. But traditionally, it's been NBA Paris for the last few years. This year they did Berlin and London. Next year it's Manchester and Paris. So I don't think there's not a scheduled London game next that we have for a regular season NBA game. But we both went to this. We both went to a lot of the different events and activities, media events around the city. You went to Berlin, and this gave me so much energy, and it made me so bullish on the basketball audience in the UK, on the British basketball kind of impact. And so I just want to run through some questions here, Lenz. I want to pick your brain on this. We haven't had too much time to recap everything from the weekend. But from your perspective in all of your conversations, I know you're meeting with everyone, what did this year's NBA London game prove to you about London as a basketball market?
Well, it proved to me that London has this amazing basketball community, and probably the best thing about the NBA London game is it brought that community together. People who are fans, people who are content creators, people who are MC, people in community basketball were all there. So it really was a celebration of the London basketball community and really the UK basketball community. A number of folks that came in, Ben came in from Manchester, Paul came in from Newcastle. So it was really a beautiful event from that perspective. In some ways, it reminded me of what our SLB league finals are like in terms of it really brings everybody together, which is really, really an amazing thing and just wonderful to kind of see. I think it also sort of proved, it sort of proves that, there is interest in basketball here. We just have to continue to iterate on the product, make the product better, make it more engaging, and get people to know who we are and get people out there. So that was really good. And then the other thing is we met a lot of people in the sort of similar to what we talked about, friends who came to the game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Lions are building a brand. I mean, people
they know us.
People know who we are. The American people
They're watching.
Who are
That's
interested
what I would say.
in the NBA.
There are many people watching.
A lot of people are watching, and they're very aware of what the London Lions are trying to do and want to do. And so that also was encouraging. So, to me, there's no doubt that basketball has a huge opportunity here in this country and in this city. We just all have to keep working at it.
Yeah.
And hopefully the NBA Europe games here and then in Manchester are an important catalyst. The NBA games and then NBA Europe are an important catalyst.
Yeah. I was really impressed with how much the NBA, and the NBA does get a lot of flack for saying we're an entertainment product, when a lot of people say, no, this is a sport, this is competition, especially in European basketball, especially from like a EuroLeague perspective, where every game matters, every game is so intense. The NBA definitely takes more of the entertainment approach. But what I saw is that is such a powerful way to draw on the casual fan, the one who knows about basketball, maybe didn't play too much basketball, maybe they played a little bit in school, in class, or they, when they played, in gym. But the casual fans here, whether you could go to the game where ticket prices were a little high, but there were a ton of free events around the city. So SBB and Jordan put on this incredible 1v1 tag team event. They had panels across the city. I know Mo Moonsie was hosting a panel. They had House of Ja, where Ja Morant came out for a dunk contest, where Joel Henry won. And all of these events are free. They're all offered through the different brand sponsors. And it's the spectacle. It's the spectacle. It's putting on the show. I think there's so much we can learn in British basketball, like putting on a show for these casual fans, where we need to have that top of funnel like reach. We need to get people in the door to learn more about the rules, to learn more about how the sport is played. We can't always assume that people know basketball. We're only going to attract in that basketball audience. And the existing basketball audience is great. The people who have been supporting the Lions for decades, the people who have been supporting the clubs around SLB for decades, is great. That is kind of the bedstone. That is the heart of the fan community. But we got to bring people in so we get more and more scarves at every game, and you have to have that first hook. And these different activations and events really impressed me with how do you bring people in from all of those different markets, those cultures, those backgrounds, those interests. Whether you're bringing people in for fashion, you're bringing them in from football and footballers. Like we had, some incredible Premier Leaguers come out to all these different events as well and kind of do the collaboration. So the spectacle was really fun to me and how that drew people in.
Yeah, no, I agree with all of that. I don't think I could say anything. One of the things that we think about all the time is how do we make the London Lions games accessible to everyone, whether you're a hardcore fan or you're just somebody looking for an entertaining night out, or you want to do something it's Sunday and you just want the kids to scream for a couple hours so that they can let out the energy. The NBA does an amazing job of just doing that, and you're 100% right. The sort of entertainment factor is what draws the top of the funnel and brings people and introduces people to our game. And some small portion of that funnel will become hardcore fans. They'll become the St. Pats of the world.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do. So they got a lot to learn from what the NBA has done here, especially in this market. That entertainment product is really, to me, the core basketball product is always important. We have to iterate and improve it, whether it's everything that we do, but it's also creating that entertainment. I think it's really important, especially in a market like London, where there's so much that can divide your attention, and there's so much to do every single night. That's really important.
And how do we do it for uniquely Lions? We're not taking these American kind of ways of doing it. We're doing something the way the Lions want to do and the way our fans appreciate. We're establishing our own traditions, our own customs. Like, I think that's a really important part. And you start to see that this season. We've had it in the past, certainly, but building on this momentum, like I was really impressed by. And also, Len, maybe we are definitely not the two people to talk about this. We need to have like a traditional football fan on. But I saw so many comments on some of these articles around NBA, like, we don't need a more American sports in the UK. We don't need, and I'm like, basketball, yes, NBA is the biggest. We play basketball in America. Basketball is a global sport. Basketball has not only the interest, but the participation. I think that is a key difference. This isn't, I love what NFL UK has been doing in Europe. I love what Major League Baseball is doing out here. But they do not have the participation numbers. There's not a lot of people that play American football in the UK or in Europe. There's not a lot of people that play baseball, American baseball, in Europe. In basketball, it is one of the dominant sports, second most team participants in the UK even. So this is a sport that is global, that's rooted in Europe, that's rooted in the UK. In Europe, you have the best players in the world that are playing in the NBA. So maybe I'm just an American, so I'm taking this too far from a criticism perspective, but I hate how everything gets angled as basketball's American. Don't push this American sport on us. This is a British sport. This is a European sport. And maybe I'll get off my high horse, but we can't have that attitude towards it.
Don't tell Adamu, our point guard, it's not a British point. Don't tell Dean Williams, who's jumping out of the gym and playing at a very high level in EuroCup, and it's not a British sport. Don't tell Obi Soko that it's not a British. Don't tell Mo Salah that it's not a British sport. Don't tell Dan Clark that it's not a British sport. This is just basketball is a global sport. And the reason, in my opinion, is a global sport, and one of the reasons why I love it so much, is because it's one of the most meritocratic sports in the world. It's accessible to anybody. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of equipment. You just need a hoop and a basketball. And if you're a working class kid from Sheffield, or if you're a poor person in anywhere, or if you're a rich kid from London, all of these different communities are all welcoming basketball, and it is such an inclusive sport by design, because anybody can play it. And I think that's probably the biggest reason why I take offense to comments like that. And I think those comments are problematic, is that us, and I think football are the most inclusive sports. And what that means, we have that level of inclusivity, is that your talent pool is massive.
Yeah.
And you're going to get better and better athletes, and you're more likely to have the meritocratic system of success that we all kind of um, aspire to, I think, as sort of Western society. So yeah, basketball is everybody's sport. That's my opinion.
Yeah. All right. That's the end of my preaching. But
Yeah.
I see those comments. And I'm like, no, this is not America coming over.
You know what I'm learning, Brett, is like, that's what these things before, like Twitter and all these things. And, it is like the social media age. It is about attracting negativity. That's really what the algorithms are designed to outrage people. And because outrage and sort of our primal instincts towards familiarity are things that the algorithms understand about human nature, and they attack those things. But I'm a big believer that most people, don't view it that way. Most people who went to that game, whether they're football fans, cricket fan, rugby, absolutely loved it. When I go to a cricket match, it's great, So yes, anyway.
I think the conversation on the commercialization of the sport, the business models, yes, you can have a totally different conversation around how those sports are treated and monetized and broadcast, but that can't take away from the narrative that there are a lot of basketball players in the UK and a lot of people that really like watching basketball, which is very, you can't take that away just because you might not like the business models of a new league or a new setup or whatever.
And to your point earlier, there are a lot of people who just love basketball culture.
Yeah.
There's a broader range of people who love basketball culture, right? Like, I don't think my niece, she's 13. She doesn't like me saying 6, 7, but she, she's not a crazy basketball fan, but she thinks John Morant's cool, or Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's cool, right?
Yeah.
So there's a much broader group of people that it's just, to me, it's the most inclusive sport out there, and I'm all about inclusivity. London is about inclusivity.
London. There was a really good panel. At the NBA house, they had this kind of creator studio where they brought in different football creators, different culture, lifestyle. And they had like a panel with a football creator and then someone that was really into kind of fashion in London. And they're like, basketball is great because like I'm not going to wear my Predator boots, around the city, where I'm wearing my Jordans around the city. I'm wearing my, the sneaker culture alone, the fashion alone. Like football, it's much harder to do that. The culture doesn't cross over as much. So yeah, you're right. It's people who might not even play basketball, but they're interested in basketball culture.
And just going back to this is and shout out to the mayor's office, Sadiq Khan, Nadeem, and the team for the incredible work to put this game on, get the NBA games back in London. I think all cultural events, every major cultural event deserves to be in this city. It's such an amazing city. So shout out our friend Nadeem and everybody at the mayor's office who helped make this happen.
Last question here before we kind of move on to mailbag. What do you think NBA London coming in, NBA Europe games, even the NBA Europe new league, and you've said many times, London's trying to be the best team in Europe. We're trying to be a globally recognized club, brand, whatever league that happens to be, wherever we end up, aspirations to be the top club in Europe. So what do you think kind of the impact that these games have on the future of British basketball? Do you think it's just a flash in the pan, the game's over, the interest goes away? Or how do we kind of build on this momentum? Will we get momentum following these games?
I think that if it was just a one-off game, I think you could potentially make the argument that it's a flash in the pan. But the NBA Europe interest in British basketball, FIBA's interest in British basketball, EuroLeague interest in British basketball, to me, are all critical catalysts for the final the game to reach its potential. So I think this is just an incredible opportunity for all of us. Our job, and I think pushing on an open door here in terms of everybody in the SLB. I think everybody in the SLB knows that our job is to create a league that can absorb top elite European competition.
Yep. No matter what league that is,
whatever club is coming in. That is. Because if we do that, that means the aspirations of every single kid who plays basketball in this country are much higher. And I think that's what we need to be a catalyst for people achieving their absolute highest potential. That is the beauty of sport. And we need to create a league that can absorb these top European competitions. And NBA Europe is one of several major European competitions that will be a major catalyst towards that. So I'm embracing it. I'm super excited about it. I love the NBA. I've
Yeah.
loved the NBA since I was 6 years old. And I love European basketball and this interest from these competing leagues. I have no control over what Paulius or Adam Silver, anybody does. The only thing we have control over is how do we, and by us, I mean all the SLB clubs, all of our fans, all of the stakeholders in the British basketball community. How do we make sure we prepare ourselves to absorb those changes and get excited about those changes and get behind those changes so we can finally get the sport to where it belongs. So I'm really excited. I think it's great.
I just want the best European clubs to come in and play in London, play across the
100%.
UK. It is the level difference. Like, I think one of my favorite games I've ever seen is Latvia coming in and playing against the GB team in Newcastle and seeing that arena filled out. Porzingis, Bertans coming in. You have all the Latvian fans. Ovi had an incredible game. Miles Hessen had an incredible game. Like, that's what we want to see in the UK. And if we can just kind of raise the whole level so that we can get on that stage is so fun. And that's how you bring in new fans.
100%. And we have the talent to bring in that state to, whether it was Gable or Sandy or Troy Nelson or the guys who we mentioned earlier, Mo Salawade, Obi Soto, and I'm specifically mentioning the British guys. Obviously, our imports, whether American or what have you, have made an unbelievable contribution. Sam Decker, Tarik Phillip, all these guys. This is about getting but this is an opportunity for London to be at the absolute top. Kieran Sandy, for London to be competing at that level. That's where London should be. That's where UK basketball. That's where Manchester should be. That's where UK basketball should be. So this is all really good stuff.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to mailbag. Some good ones this week. We'll do a quick mailbag. LV is asking, have we considered adding a clap celebration after games like Zalgiris? Or when you look at the Kings, the Light the Beam, or the Magic, play the song. Maybe we'll put this to the London Lions supporters group. We'll ask some fans this.
What's the Magic song?
Orlando Magic. Hit the song. That's why I really wanted them to win in London because I wanted to hit the song. We didn't get it here, though. It's devastating. I do think this would be very fun to create a tradition at the end of games, whether it's a win or a loss, or whatever it happens to be. But I love these traditions. I think it really does help kind of bring people into the fandom of the London Lions. Do you have any top of mind? Any ones that you've wanted forever?
Oh,
we
man.
We can't do the clap. We can't copy that. We need our own version.
Yeah, we need our own version of it. You know what? We keep trying different things. And shout out Stan.
Yeah.
Shout out Stan for like really thinking about and I think elevating and sort of trying lots of different options We're trying lots of different options to do that. We have some things going on, but we're working through it. It's just really about I think that stuff has to happen organically, like the supporters club. We can push it as much as we can, but I think eventually this kind of thing will happen organically as the fan base continues to grow.
Yeah. I think Wemby with the Spurs talked to their fan group and they came up with that, like the drum at the end of games where they all go to half court and like they hit the drum and they do the clap, clap, clap. So yeah, maybe Tarik will figure something out with the fan group or we'll work on it there.
Well, one of the things I think that's really nice, and we went away for a couple games, we came back to it, is like the players just going around and saying hi to the fans and just giving them a high five. Like I think that's a really nice sort of tradition that we do for
we do the claps. Yeah, we do the guys go around the whole court side, they high five everyone, they clap at the center court. So maybe we can do something around that. Okay, next one is Hani Yalala. That's the username, so no idea if that's an actual pronunciation. What does a typical week look like for the team? I think this is a really interesting one because I don't think I realized it is just a grind. It is just one thing after the other, game after game, travel after travel. Lenz, you travel with the team a lot. What does a typical week, let's say there's 2 games in a week, what would that look like? Let's start on Monday. There's a game Wednesday away, and then we have a Sunday home. What does that look like?
I think the first bit, this is actually a good question. We should wait to when we have Sabonis or one of the coaching staff on the pod because they'll have an even better sort of understanding of it. I don't go to every practice. But,
yeah.
I think that, it is, I think that the approach that Martinez and Sabonis and the coaching staff was one of an elite professional sports teams. One of the folks, I can't remember, maybe it was Tommy, who's in strength and conditioning, who said this is much more like a Premier League football team than, he had sort of experienced in the past. Folks get up, we train most days.
Yep.
It's really intense practices. The coaching staff spends a lot of time on film work. Very, very detailed film work, individual conversations with players about Coach VP does individual kind of breakdowns with players, and then broader as a group, they do intensive film work. We've got EJ and Dematis and Jordan creating specific fitness plans for the players so that their bodies are physically ready to go through the intensity of the season practice. Pretty intense practices most games, really based on the film work that the coaches have done in preparation for the next game. And then games they are business trips. Like we get in there.
They really are.
Folks are really locked in. If you go in there, sometimes you definitely the guys really get along. So, you saw that Uno game, that kind of thing before a game, you get that. But a lot of times right before that game, guys have their headphones in, the bus is silent, focused. So we've got a bunch of guys that are really locked into the games. And then when there's a win, it's nothing like it. The vibes, people are really excited, really almost, I'm just relieved when we win, but everybody gets really excited. Sometimes it's very emotional. So typical week is a function of how many games we play. We play a lot of games, but it is about as professional as you could imagine at the London Lions.
Last question.
I don't know if I did a good job answering that question, but
no, I think you did. I think you did a good job. Martinez and Sabonis will have more in-depth answers, but it is. I think it's very business. It's very business. Yeah, it's a high-end professional team. They want to treat it that way. We want to establish that program, establish the club that way. So yeah, and we're in the depths of the middle of the season right now too. So it's just keep that routine going.
We have a good balance of like serious guys, fun-loving guys. Those are really, whether it's the coaching staff or the intensity of Coach Sabonis and some other is kind of offset by like, Coach Youngblood and Coach VP's like super positive, and you need both of those things. You get the super positive Shavar Reynolds versus the very, very, serious, very focused, Tarik Phillip. Everybody with the same intention to compete hard and win. But you get these really interesting personalities. I think it's fun. I love basketball. I love being around these guys. So it's a lot of fun.
Last question. This is from me directly. How long do you think it would take you to work with a shooting coach to beat Abby, our marketing manager, in a 3-point contest?
Man, Abby Kelly can shoot.
Kelly can shoot. She's a flamethrower.
She really is a flamethrower. Man, I don't know. What about you? How long you think? Because I haven't seen you beat Abby Kelly in the 3-point.
So if you don't know, we have a little staff tradition where before games we'll do a little shooting competition, a little 3-point shooting. Usually everyone participates, so we'll have 10 of us go do it. Abby's
sometimes
killing me out
the
there.
other teams mods participated from Manchester. It's true. So the other away teams.
Yeah. Abby's been killing me out there. So for me, maybe it's me. Maybe I need to get a shooting coach and kind of beat her out there. But Derek, how do we got to take her down. Maybe that's our goal, is as a staff, we need to take shooting lessons to beat Abby in one of these eventually.
You know what's even like more embarrassing is that Abby usually is wearing some sort of heel. So she shoots with her.
She's barefoot.
Socks on. She's barefoot. And you guys, and literally the funny thing is Derek literally like puts on his brand new Tatum shoes that he removes from some sort of like perfect
whatever vessel they have sent him to it. Yeah,
we got and our kit manager CJ, he shoots with the team every single day, and nobody can beat Abby. So shout out Abby.
You know what? Next time we're gonna shoot before.
Jake from TMB. Beat Abby last time. Yes, beat Abby last time.
He was our
angry
ringer
about it.
He was our ringer. He
I think
also Jake just routinely drops 50 in our league games, so that's not fair. He's got, but yeah, they were
Don't
close. They
gas
were
his
neck
head
and
up.
neck.
Jake already thinks he's you. We're gassing. Cut that.
Well, it's not a good thing. It's not good for him to score 50 because then I never get the ball. I'm just doing cardio out there. It's very frustrating. Jake, maybe kick it out once in a while. Don't be afraid to get it out there. All right,
Jake
that is
thinks
our
he
show.
is Ruche.
Who does Jake think he is? Abby
He
Kelly?
thinks he's Ruche. Ruche
Ruche?
doesn't pass the ball. In Division One, Ruche averaged 27 points, didn't get 1 assist.
I love that. That is the mentality you want from a GM.
That's right.
That's absolutely what you want. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Bulletin, on Baseline, the London Lions podcast. Lenz, thanks for joining again. And we'll see everyone next week.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Home Court. Today we are interviewing Matthew Goodwin.
Nice to meet you.
Matty G.
Interviewing sounds so. We're just having a chat.
Sorry, we're hanging out. We're hanging out with Matty,
Yeah.
as we like to call him.
Mm-hmm.
You excited to be here?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Something new. Yeah.
Are you being honest?
I'm a little nervous.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be
but,
fun.
Should be good, yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a fun time at the Christmas party this weekend?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think certain people had more fun than me.
Mm.
I'm going to stick with a
You gonna name any names or
no comment.
good for you?
Yeah. I could end.
Try to
Stay safe.
Keep our jobs.
end
I
badly.
heard about this great Christmas party. I didn't get invited. So
Did you not?
No, it's the running joke.
I think it was Lenz who invited everyone.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Santa lost it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pesky Santa,
So,
eh?
yeah.
Well, let's start with some basketball questions. We'll do some basketball. We'll do some other stuff. Any
Sweet.
questions that you want to jump in on, please do.
Mhm.
I'll try to keep us on track, but I'm always getting off.
Sounds good.
Okay. So, start from the beginning. Take us back to when you started playing basketball, and
Jeez.
start from there, and how you got interested in basketball and how that continued to be the sport.
Well,
you?
I was very, very young. I was 3 years old when I first started. My dad, he got me into it. So I was only 3 when I first started properly, like, playing, practicing. At the time, there was no real, like, 3-year-old to 4-year-old age group as there is now. So what happened was I was just shoved in with, like, the older people.
How old's old?
Like 7, 8. But the thing is, as a kid,
As a 3-year-old,
yeah.
Okay.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
amazing.
well, all my childhood I've always played up. So there will be times where I started in the like year 3 and 4 division, which is like 7, 8 years old. And as a 3-year-old, I started. I was only small, right? Obviously, it's 3. Okay, and and it got to the point where I was in that league for so long that people started complaining and trying to find out, how old am I? Where's your birth certificate? Right? There was a genuine person that asked for my birth certificate because it was to the point where I've been in it for so long. And I started at 3, and then I played my first National League game when I was, I think, 9 years old. The way I got into Manchester Magic was such a weird scenario. It was the 2011 NBA games in Manchester, right, at the MEN Arena. That's what it used to be called.
Okay.
And they were hosting an event in, what was it called? It's like Piccadilly Circus, I think, Piccadilly Gardens.
Yeah.
And John Amici was there.
Mm-hmm.
Those who know John Amici ran Manchester Magic at the time. And there was a quick game of Killer. Now I was nervous, young.
How old were you?
I think 7 or 8 years old. I was quite nervous. And then I didn't want to enter this game of Killer. You know what the game of Killer is, right?
Like
Yeah.
by name, I'm not sure.
It's a game where 2 people shoot, and if the person behind you scores before you, you're out.
Oh, yeah.
Simple game, right?
Yeah. Foul
Um,
line?
yeah.
3-point.
Well, your
Knockout.
first shot has to be from the free throw line.
Yeah.
And then from then on, if you miss, you just can quickly score it.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
got to get back to the free throw line.
Knockout.
And score.
Knockout.
Knockout.
Yeah.
The American
Killer.
name.
We call it Killer.
Yeah.
Bit
Fun.
a bit more aggressive, right? But,
Sure.
it's good. And there was a game of that, and my dad put his hand up
For you.
for me. So I got sent in, sent into it. And I ended up winning. And John Amici was there. And then he had a word with me and my dad and said, listen, get over to Manchester Magic now. I'll speak to some people there. We'll get you there. And then from there on, that was it. I played at Manchester Magic. At the time, again, there was no real under 10s, under 9s, under 11s as there was then. So as a 8-year-old, I was practicing with the under 13s.
Amazing.
And now it only sound like 5 years doesn't sound that much. If you compare like me to like other 25-year-olds now, it
No,
doesn't
that's a
sound
big-
like. But as a young person,
Yeah.
5 years is, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
So that's all I ever did. I've always ever played up. So every single year at Manchester Magic, I played up. When I finally got to under 14s, I started doing under 16s and working out with the under 18s lot. When I got to under 16s, I started working out with playing under 18s and working with the men's. And then ever since then, I've always just played up.
Yeah.
And sorry, but like you obviously went through that journey,
Mhm.
D1, D2, right? D1.
I never
And
did D2.
Oh, you went straight to D1?
Yes.
And then got to the Giants at the
Yes.
time. And what was that like, but being the young guy, but also jumping to that experience? Like you said, you've always been that younger guy playing against older players.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It's difficult jumping because people may say the jump from D1 to SLB as it is now, or
Yeah.
BBL back then, isn't that crazy, but it is.
Yeah.
There's a massive difference.
Yep.
I think it's more like the small details than anything. You'll definitely know this.
Yeah.
It's the smallest of details. It will be, the reaction time. Everyone's quicker.
Yeah.
Ev-
It's so funny you're saying this because we did the Bulletin and
Yeah.
they were talking about the Lions. What do they need? What's the difference maker, the jump in EuroCup? And this is exactly what I said.
That's
It's
all
the
it is.
tiny details, the speed, playing against
Yeah.
grown men.
That is the difference between pretty much every level. Once you go past like Division 1 in this country, you'll find really skilled people in Division 1, really skilled people, but their reaction time isn't as quick as the people in SLB, isn't as quick as the people in EuroCup, EuroLeague, NBA. So I think that is one of the major like things that I try to get as a younger person. But like you said, it's difficult, very difficult, because all I ever did was play up. So I'm always like the runt of the, like pigs. They have
Yeah,
loads
yeah,
of
yeah.
piglets, and there's always one that gets kicked away. Yeah, back of the line, stuff like that.
Do you still do you feel like the young guy or the rookie, or
Yeah.
do you still feel like that?
Yeah, I mean it's natural though, because everyone on this team right now is at least 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
5 years older than me. So I mean, obviously I'm going to feel a lot younger, but it's not the same as the younger treatment as you may think it is. It's more like, they're telling me off, but they got their arm around me, giving me a punch in the stomach, but they got their arm around me, if that makes sense. So it's
Yeah.
kind of caring in a way as well. They're looking out for me.
Nice.
So yeah.
So what is the mental side of that then? Especially growing up, I'm sure it takes a little bit of a toll on your mental game.
Yes.
So you having that all the way up and having to experience those challenges, what was that like for you, and how have you handled it? Do you think you've handled it well?
Well, I think I have, but it's pretty grounding.
Yeah.
Because you'll play against people your age and then give them 40, 50 points, but then you'll go up 2 years and now you've had 10.
Yeah.
And it's
Or
like,
won't even play.
that's one. You won't even see the floor. No sniff in the floor, right?
Mhm.
So it's like, it's very difficult mentally as well to understand that there's always people better than you, regardless of who you are in this world. But in a way that it kind of, my dad always spoke to me about it, and he always said like, use it as like motivation. You want to reach that guy.
Sure.
You're running a race. See the person in front of you, I want to get in front of him. Then you're in front of that person now, he's behind. Then you see the next person in front, you want to try and get past him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you talking about the guy hand round and punch.
Yeah.
Who's been the OG? Who's been the guy on the Lions team for you that's really kind of helped you along your journey, or kind of led you in those ways?
Probably Ryan.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Love Ryan.
And he's gone through, the same
Yes.
kind of division and then step up.
Bingo.
Yeah.
He was like, I was talking to Abby before, he's like a big brother that I never had. I have an older sister,
Yeah.
2 years older than me, but in a way, not to have a dig at her, but she's like my younger sister. I look after her more than she looks after me.
Okay.
She'll probably disagree with me, but
But nice. But so you and Aaron just kind of.
So it was Ryan. It was
Ryan, sorry,
yeah,
yeah.
Ryan, Aaron, Rye,
Yeah.
Ovi, Tarik, all like the veterans. They always like give me advice, and sometimes they'll yell at me, tell me off. That's that's fine. I accept it, but it's they're doing it because they care, and that's what.
Amazing.
It's more concerning if they just see me mess up and just go, yeah, sod it.
Yeah.
who cares?
It's so true.
Yeah.
And if they stop telling you and giving you advice is when they don't care. So
Bingo.
great. Amazing.
So that's kind of the mental, like being on the team now as the youngest person. That's kind of that side of it. What about the development side? Growing up, but also specifically with the Lions, I guess, like what you've kind of taken a unique path by
Yes.
going like straight to the Lions from where were you before that?
Giants, but I was at an academy in Manchester
Okay.
Magic. Yeah.
Okay, so from there, you go play for the Lions. What's that development like? What does that do for you in order for your trajectory in terms of your goals as a basketball player?
I think the best way to think about it, I was speaking to my dad about this. Are you familiar with like AC/DC, the band?
Yep.
So they're a really famous like rock band.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
My dad loves them.
Okay.
And he was saying to me that, say if I'm like an upcoming guitarist,
Yeah.
would I rather go and play at a local band and be the best guitarist there, or would I rather potentially not play that much my guitar, but learn from the people at AC/DC?
Yeah. It's big fish, little fish.
Yeah.
Go on. Yeah, wicked.
That's
What a
probably-
fun analogy.
That's a better analogy. Big fish, small pond.
Yeah, yeah.
What have
I
you.
liked yours.
No, I like it.
But yeah, it's like I would rather learn from the best of the best
I
rather
like
than
your dad. Maybe
either way.
we should have brought him on here.
Yeah,
'cause
maybe we'll
he-
bring him on
Listen.
next week.
He's a great.
He's an
Parent.
interesting bloke. I'll tell you
Yes.
that for free. He's a proper interesting bloke. He would love to be on this podcast. If he ever gets an invite, he'll be down here in a jiff.
Mhm.
So yeah. But yeah, I would rather learn from. Think about this team, right? Jonathan Williams, NBA.
Yeah.
Jason Randall, NBA, EuroLeague. Cam Augusti was one of the best players in college. Gerard Reynolds, one of the best players in EuroCup,
Mhm.
Champions League. Dean, Champions League, one of the best players from Britain. Or would I rather go play, somewhere else
Yeah. Smaller.
and
yeah.
be a big fish in a small pond?
And these experiences, we actually just found out that you're traveling with the team to
Yeah.
to
Off
Turkey
to Turkey.
to tomorrow, and I feel like, especially with when I had rookies or younger players, and these you need to experience
Have
these
to.
moments of,
Yeah.
and then okay, yeah, you might not play a lot, but the traveling, the practice, you don't realize like how much you are helping the team win, even though you might not touch the floor, you might touch the floor. These moments all add up, and when you hit the 25, the 27, you'll look back at these and be like, yeah, I've been here.
1000%.
Or you've had a hostile environment, arena, and you know
Yeah.
how to handle yourself.
Yeah.
And so you, honestly, talking to you don't give young guy, you give well-rounded, well-experienced.
Thank you.
Yeah, obviously come from a great family. This is what I'm sitting here like, wow, like I'm
you, yeah.
I'm enjoying how you're speaking and all the experience that you're getting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. So in terms of your family, you said you have an older sister.
Mhm.
You have two younger brothers.
I do, yeah.
So what role did they play in your life, your basketball
My
career
life?
so far?
My little brother's always been worse than me. He can
Look down this camera and tell him
Dominic James Goodwin is worse at
full-
basketball than
the
me.
full government name.
Yeah. But he plays basketball and he's really good.
Yeah.
He is quite good. I just wish he could be better than me. I was telling Abby about this. He doesn't know this. This is like one of the first, I've told my dad this. I haven't told him this. This is the first time he's going out there, Dom. But he could be way better than me. He's built for basketball. I'm not. I mean, I have maxed out my genetics. I am at the peak of what I could be. Right, this is it. He has a better frame. He's longer, which, as you know, is beneficial in basketball. His wingspan's longer. He's more slim. He's more crafty. He's more naturally crafty. He's more naturally gifted than I was. So yeah, he could have been better than me. It's just a shame that
Didn't
He's
work
not.
out that way.
In terms of support from your family and where you're at now.
Is that where you were going?
No, I'm a little curious about it.
They've been very supportive. All 5 of them, including my grandparents, including my aunts and uncles, have all been very, very supportive. Every single one of them at some point in their lives has helped me have an opportunity, if that makes sense. So whether it be my grandparents picking me up from the airport because I've just flown back from Bulgaria for GB, whether or not, my aunts and uncles have housed me while I've got an event down in London, so I'm able to live in Hemel, not to give out their postcode or anything, but live in Hemel and then travel back into London for an event. They've done loads of things for me. I call them the Golden Five. The 5 golden rings, you know, the Christmas song.
Yeah.
My family, mum, dad, and the 3 siblings, right? And they're amazing, the lot of them. My mum and dad especially have sacrificed a lot for me, crazy amount. Like, I'm talking like, we don't have enough time here. I mean, you know, currently, what's that, 10 to 5? We don't have enough time, to talk about how much they've sacrificed for me. And my siblings have sacrificed a lot as well. My sister especially. She, a lot of the time, like when we were younger, my dad would drive me to games all over the country. You know this, National League. Sometimes you're down in London on a Saturday, up in Newcastle on the Sunday. So it's like up, down here, everywhere. And my sister never really got enough time with like my dad at that point.
Yeah.
And she sacrificed a lot in that manner, if that makes sense. But they've been very, very supportive.
Yeah.
Majorly.
And what kind of role model do you want to be for your youngest brother? Who, if I'm guessing correctly, you're the closest with?
Yeah. I mean, he's on my... Let me show you. Here he is, the little Roman. I don't know if you see my brother Azania. Let me get rid of some of these notifications. There he is.
Goes on his phone in the podcast.
Oh, he's tiny.
Yeah. Well, he's how old is he? That's not good.
I don't know.
He's 11. But he's a little Roman. He's the funniest. And he doesn't know he's the funniest, but he's the funniest out of all of us because
keep up with all the siblings.
he grew up with older siblings.
Yeah.
He's a lot younger than all of us.
Witty.
So he grew up with my humour and my dad's humour and all of our older sense of humour. So he doesn't realise how funny he is. As a role model, though, I just want to be like, I don't know. That's a hard question, isn't it? Because you're never really trying to be a role model. You just kind of are sometimes.
Yeah.
Like with Ryan, he didn't realise he was being a role model towards me. He was just being a good guy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, for example, if he ever looks at me and goes, oh, what would Matt do in this situation? That's what I want.
Yeah.
Where he would think, oh, what would Matt do in this situation? What would he do? And that's what I want for him.
Yeah.
Not saying that, yes, I always do what I do, because I definitely wouldn't recommend that. Definitely wouldn't recommend
But lead
that.
by example, maybe, or...
That's what I'm going for.
Amazing. I just wanted to touch bases, especially on your Great Britain experience. You played, you're smiling, under 18s, under 20s, and just touch on that environment, what that taught you, how different international basketball is.
It is completely different.
Yeah.
You are probably well aware.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, the first time I did it, I went away with the under 18s GB squad. And the first game we played was in Serbia, in Belgrade. And we played against Serbia.
Yeah, tough.
And they are tough. I mean, we got there, they all had shaved heads. So I don't know where they've been before this, but clearly...
The team or the fans?
The team. So clearly there's only one barber in Belgrade. But they, it was just, they are...
Yeah.
It's night and day, how disciplined they are, how, I mean, we would get to... and this is me prior to any international experience. I had a Spanish coach, Sergio, and he was amazing.
Yeah.
But we're talking Serbian basketball here. They're like, you know, they're proper strict. And we would get to the team meal before like the game, and they would all be sat there, silent, same uniform, eating salad, proper meals, rice and chicken to prepare for the game. And we'll just be there, you know, scranning whatever.
Yeah.
So a bit of trifle. We'll have a bit of trifle. Right, whatever we see.
Yeah.
So it's just
different professions.
It's a lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
I mean, they were 17, 18 years old, and they were treating it like it's their job. And I think that's just the main point. I think I always recommend everyone. People message me say, "Should I do GB? Is it worth it? Should I do it?" And if you haven't ever done it before, I always recommend it, just to see what it's like.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea. You don't have a clue. Because unfortunately, this country doesn't. And this is going to sound harsh, we don't do it as properly as they do.
Mm-hmm.
So when we went away, I saw the French national team, the Turkish national team, and the way they treat it and approach it it's night and day to how we do.
Yeah.
So it's very important that you see that as a young person and realise, you know, how amazing it is.
Yeah. Kind of speaking on that same point, if you could change something to accelerate British basketball, like if there was something that you could change or things that you saw because you experienced a lot of it, what would it be and why? What's lacking? What's stopping it?
Political now, isn't it? I think the main point for me is almost acknowledging basketball more. So, for example, basketball is the number 2 sport in this country. Now, I think number 2, right?
Yeah,
I
Is
think
it?
it's number 2. After football. I mean,
Yeah.
Wow.
realistically, we're never going to beat football. Football's the world sport. Soccer. The world sport,
Don't
right?
do that. It's football.
Yeah, no, I'm just
He's a
helping her out
Londoner
here a
now.
little bit. Yeah, sorry.
Well, I mean, I'm not
Footy.
stupid. I'm just American. Those things are not.
Yeah. But, yeah, we'll never beat soccer, football,
Yeah.
because that is the world sport in my eyes. That will never happen. But basketball is now number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was younger, I used to go to the park and there was never really anyone using the basketball rings. There was no nets on them half the time. Obviously, Project Swish has come out now. Amazing. Basically, they give you a net and some zip ties for free. You got to sort out the ladder.
Oh.
They can't get you that out to you, but you got to sort out getting the net up there. But they give you stuff for free, which is amazing. And all over the country, they've shipped them out and they've built up nets and built up courts and they've done renovating courts. They did one in Manchester, Platt Lane, Hume Park. They're amazing. But I just wish they recognised how big basketball is, if that makes sense. I mean, it's no longer an up-and-coming sport. I think it's,
It's here.
it's here now.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it. Paddle, paddle ball, that's up and coming. People love that because it's like tennis, but for not as active. You can stand and do,
Yeah.
it's like a bit more, it's like bigger ping pong. That's up and coming.
Yeah.
Basketball is here now. And I would just wish people acknowledged that and accepted that as it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah. As a participant, as someone who went through that system,
Yeah.
do you have, I want to dig in a little deeper to your perspective as an active participant, as opposed to just like the outside view, which I love. I think that's really interesting. I think that'll resonate with a lot of people, but also playing wise, like what are things that can change, that need to be improved in order for people to acknowledge that?
Well, I don't know. I think one thing I wish is, I think you'll know about this, the GB camps are not throughout the year at all. And you can definitely tell when we come to playing games. So when I did my GB under-18s, GB under-20s, we would start May. And then we'd do the tournament in July or mid-July, end of June. Now, that means we're only together for about 2 months. So, and I mean, that's not enough time to properly get to know your coach and to get to know your players and what people are play style. I mean, you know this. The first 2 months of like an actual season, it can go sideways quick because you're trying to figure out what your big's like. Where does your big like receiving it?
Yeah.
Where does he like playing more?
Yeah.
And that's the difference for the funding. If the funding's there, then you can have the preparation.
I didn't really want to say that.
People really underestimate that, considering how, I played 10 years for Great Britain, and I was in the years that we had money, and we were in the years when we didn't have money. And I think that is really the difference of being able to be together. When we were getting ready for the Olympics, I think we were maybe together too long. Actually, we had like a 6-month prep.
Sick of it.
Yeah. So we were able to, like you said, you really learn each other. You're able to go have loads of preparation games, go to all these different places and get that experience and be together and build that chemistry. It's a little bit even more difficult. Obviously, the funding is struggling and it's doing its thing. I try and stay away from the political side. But when you see teams are together for longer and able to come together, you get,
Of course.
like, especially I can speak on the women's side. The women are successful with these short tiny windows. It is difficult because the windows now are in season, where when I was coming up back in the day, it was in the summer. But still, if we can meet in the summer for the group, the GB team, to get together, and it's and you're one of those guys that are going to be up and coming.
For example, Spain, right? I don't think it's every month. I think one of my old teammates, Luca, told me this. They meet up regularly during the year. Regularly. And those 12 to 15 guys know who they are. They all meet up in one place for a weekend. They get together, they battle it out, and then they just go back to their clubs.
Yeah.
Whether they're
That's so interesting.
in Bayern Munich or whether they're in Spain, at Madrid or what have you, they just go back to where they were. And that's all I think it needs. It doesn't need to be a massive week-long camp,
Mhm.
hella expensive. They don't need that.
Yeah,
It's just
a
simply,
little touch base.
Yeah.
Everyone regroup. Yeah,
that's literally it.
I've never heard of that. That's really
That's what
it's a
other
good
countries
gem.
do. Even Ireland do that.
Yeah.
Ireland do that, which is interesting. Just across the way, they meet up regularly during the year.
So just going, you want to carry on with that, or I'm
No.
just gonna move?
No,
on?
I was moving on to the Lions. Yeah.
Yeah, no more. I wanted to know, what does your game day look like? Your preparation. Are you a nap kind of guy? Do you have any?
I like a nap.
Yeah, you like a nap.
I
Go
do
on.
like a nap. I just like a nap in general. Yeah, I love a
Needed.
nap. I tend to teeter on the line of nap and sleep, if that makes
Too
sense.
long? Like a
Yeah,
long
sometimes.
nap? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I wake up and my alarm's gone off, and I think I can't. I need more. Alarm off, and I go back to bed, and I've woken up like an hour later, nap for like 2.5 hours,
Okay.
and that's not good.
No, I think it is good.
Like a sleep.
Yeah. Just if you're training that much, if you're doing a workout in the
true.
morning and you've got an evening,
Yeah.
I think a 2.5. To a regular person, hearing a 2.5 hour nap is wild.
Sound lazy, don't you?
Yeah, they're like, what? But
Yeah.
for your body to recover, rest, eat, I think 2.5 is. I know people are listening to this like. When I was playing in Spain, we weren't practicing till 9:45. We're on the floor,
Mhm.
PM.
Yeah,
So you need that nap.
the nap
For
is
sure.
needed.
Yeah.
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 And so your game day, do you have any
Oh.
superstitions? Do you eat the same thing?
I eat
Like,
the same thing. I always
you?
have especially this year, I always have sweets before a game.
yeah, fine.
Big fan of sweets. Nerd gummy clusters. They're the ones I'm going with at the moment. They're
There you
good.
go too.
Straight sugar. There's pretty much nothing. It's like, I think it's like 70% sugar,
Okay.
which is not good.
And that's just before you go out to warm out.
So
to warm
that's in the changing room.
up. Okay.
Warm-ups is, I always do the same shooting routine.
Nice.
So the way at Lions it works is we have time to ourselves before, then we have individual workouts.
Yep.
And the time before, I always do the same thing over and over and over again. 'Cause that's just like, as a player,
Reps.
just routine,
Yep.
seeing the ball go in. And then when it comes to the workout, we have 5 minutes with the coach and then 5 minutes of our own shots. And in that, I always do the same amount of makes, same spots, same thing, 5 minutes.
Lovely.
So yeah, it's pretty repetitive, but it's good. It's good as a player to have like a specific routine. I wear the same socks.
Mm-hmm.
I wear the same compressions and the same like undershirt.
For game day.
Every single time, the
Mhm.
same 3. I think that's it really. There's not many superstitions. I have a nap, like
Yep.
you said. Nap is needed, whether it's in the hotel or whether it's like a
Because you
quick
would
short
shoot
one.
around in the morning and
Yes.
then nap, eat,
Yeah.
get ready for the game.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
So season so far this year, what have you been most proud of? I think as a team and personally.
As a team, I think how we've come together, because we've had shaky moments as a team, very shaky moments. Dropping the game to Bristol, losing by 20 to Manchester. We've had loads of games where we've just almost had it. Almost. We've been so close. And we've stuck together as a team. Every single time there's been some sort of, someone's put a spanner in the works. We've sorted it out. Sometimes it takes longer than others. But I think every time we've come over adversity, which I'm quite proud of as a team, because sometimes, you're both probably well aware, something could go wrong as a team and that is it.
Yeah.
It blows it up.
Yeah,
Mm.
like, what's called the butterfly effect.
Mm.
That leads to that. And then before you
Yeah.
know it, Royal Rumble is happening at practice.
I feel like it speaks a lot to your guys' personalities and just kind of like characters.
Yeah. We're very, a lot of us are strong-minded people.
Mm.
And I think the main part is that we don't like losing or giving up,
Mm.
which,
Nobody does.
yeah.
Nobody likes to lose.
Some people like to give up.
Giving up, we don't give up. I think that's the main, like, we always keep fighting. Whether we're down 20, up
Yeah.
20. I mean, Sabonis has always instilled that into us. At halftime, say if we're up 20, he goes, right, it's 0-0.
Yeah.
0-0, we don't care about the score.
Yeah.
We're going to go win again and
Yeah.
again and again and again. And that has kind of instilled into all of us, and not even just into the basketball, but into like everyday life
Yeah.
as well.
Mm.
So, yeah.
And when you, for the Lions, like when you get in there, what do you feel like? because you usually come off the bench. You have,
Yes.
I think
Last season I started a few. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And one, the difference between starting and not starting for you, and
Yeah.
two, what do you feel when you get in there? What's your like MO? What are you thinking? Right, boom.
I think I prefer coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Because it gives me a bit of time to figure out what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
what their defensive coverage is, what they're doing. Can I really, as a guard, I'll be thinking, how are they defending the pick and roll, how are they doing in transition, what have you, what I can see.
Yeah.
So when I get out there, I kind of have a rough idea of what I'm going to try, if that makes sense. When I get out there, I always try, this is going to sound really bad, but I always try to hit someone
That's good.
quite hard.
Great.
Um,
That's what you're there for.
Yeah, if you notice, right,
Mm-hmm.
I always get away with it. Sometimes I get called for a foul. Every game, I always have at least 1 or 2 fouls.
Yeah.
And the first one is always, I just hit
I'm
someone.
here. Don't mess with me.
Just take them out.
Why?
Yeah.
It's
Sets
kind
the
of,
tone.
well, it's not even just like to let people know, like, don't try nothing funny with me.
Yeah.
But it's also like for me as well to like, get going a little
yourself.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have that douche.
Yeah.
And then now I'm ready. If I get called for a foul, I'm not too fussed. I'm not really going to be in foul trouble at any given point,
Yeah.
let's be honest. But it's just a good way to set the tone. I'm out there for energy purposes.
Yeah.
I'm out there for easy buckets.
Yeah. And I like this because every time I have watched games that you've played in, because respectfully, you're not the main focus, right? You're not at the top of the scouting report.
Nope.
So you can low key get buckets and do that bang and get your little, 5-6 points here because they're not worried about you. But then all of a sudden, Goodwin comes in and a nice couple of points, then you're out. And I think I'm over there like, well done.
Thank you.
Well
Yeah.
done, like that.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's how you build the trust with a coach like Sabonis, who, you go in there 2-3 minutes, you do that nice tough screen, that foul, little 2 points, little rebound off.
Yeah.
This is how you keep building.
That's all it is,
that-
isn't it?
that-
Small steps.
Yeah, small
And
steps.
consistency.
And
I think like
consistency.
doesn't matter the like how much
No.
I think numbers obviously
Yeah.
are fun, but the consistency on any scale is so
And you're
important to a coach.
the guitarist.
The guitarist,
AC/DC,
learning
yeah.
from AC/DC.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you
Just rocking and rolling. And
Yeah.
that's what I think, honestly, and I love this, and I hope that people who are younger are listening to this, because the fact of you can't be that superstar right away. You can't be that star, and this is why I am really impressed with your personality, how you're coming across, your mentality, and this is where I think the younger generation are losing it. That they think that they should, that you come in and you deserve it right away, and the aspect of gaining your stripes kind of thing. That
Yes.
yeah, and I feel like this is what you're giving a
definitely it.
slice of humble pie, doing your job, and I guarantee you, in the next year or two, I'm going to be seeing you. You're going to be a starter. You're going to be averaging your nice points that you want.
Yeah.
And
Appreciate that. Thank
yeah,
you.
I really, honestly, because obviously I commentate you guys, and
Yes.
it's really difficult to come off the bench or not play. And these are the things that build character. But your time will
It
come.
eventually will come.
Yeah.
I think the young guys that do play a lot, they end up going to EuroLeague, NBA.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Mm-hmm.
Luka Doncic, Ricky Rubio, they go straight there because they are 1 in a million.
Yeah.
I'm not, putting myself down here, but I am not them.
Yeah.
Do I want to become what they are now? Yes, of course I do. Anyone would. But the reality is that a lot of young guys think they're a lot better than they are, and they have no idea how deep the rabbit hole goes. If that makes sense, you'll definitely
no, I get it.
understand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. We got to wrap up, so I'm just going to ask a few more questions. Personal goal for the season, the rest of the season. Team goal for the rest of the season.
Oh, personal goal. Sure, That's an interesting one. I kind of want to just see how many EuroCup appearances I can get, if that makes sense. I just want to get out there,
Mm-hmm.
because that in itself is an achievement. Being on the floor in a EuroCup game at this age, there's not many of us. There's not many young guys, let alone British young guys, doing that at the moment. So I think that's my goal, just to get out there and see the floor more in EuroCup games. And for the team, I'd say just win it all. Make playoffs for EuroCup. I think we're still in the the
seventh.
playoff.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Still a chance.
there is still a chance. I think we can only ever control what we can control.
Yeah.
So we have to win our games.
Yeah.
And I think we have to hope that a few of the teams lose. But we can only control what we can control.
Right.
But when it comes to, as a team, I want to make playoffs. We want to make playoffs for the EuroCup. And when it comes to SLB,
Quadruple? You think it's possible?
win it all, yeah. Trophy first against Newcastle. The cup, we got Newcastle in the cup soon. Win the trophy, win the cup, win the league, win the playoffs.
And that's that.
And that is that.
And that's Matthew Goodwin.
Nice to meet you all. Yeah.
No, it's fun. Any last questions from you?
No, amazing. I'm a fan. Truly
Thank you.
am. I'm glad that I got this time and hope everyone can really understand what type of man you are and a player. I'm loving it.
Wow, high praise.
Did you hear man there? Not boy.
I
He's a
did.
real
I did. I was
boy.
gonna correct.
No way.
This is your time. It's not mine. So
Thank you, Abby.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank
It
you
was
for
fun chat.
joining us.
Thank you for having me.
good job.